Alright guys, in this part we're going to be taking care of a few things, and this could probably be the last part, except if you want to go ahead and model the brake caliper that you're seeing here, the windshield wiper, which I've already modeled. I've modeled the windshield wiper, I've modeled the caliper, and I've also modeled the license plate area. Alright, and also the interior. So I'm going to make all that available for you in the next part. The next part, we're going to be prepping the whole model for texturing. So this would probably be the last part for the modeling process. So we'll create the tire, the handle we have over here that is missing, and yeah, maybe we'll create, what else? Yeah, I think that'll pretty much, yeah, the brake disc as well in this part. So yeah, everything else, like I said, I'll provide to you guys. So let's get into this. So I'm going to get to the side view and I'm going to start working on the door. All right, over here. So you can see we have a reference image opened up. Okay, so right here, what I want to do is, you can see it's a little bit offsetted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the knife tool over here. All right, so let's just cut around. I want to cut it from here to there, then to down here, and then to here, like this. So we want it to be on the same level as that one. So I'm not going to follow the blueprint line below. I'm just going to end it right there like that. And now this is what we have. Okay, so let's get onto this side as well, and let's see what we can do. So I'm going to use the knife tool again, and I'm going to knife it all the way to here, then to down here, all the way down here, to the middle, right here, and then to down there, like that. Alright, there we go. So what we're going to do now is to take all of these faces. First of all, let's find some, let's bind this one to this with J, and then bind that one to this with J. And I think we can pretty much do the same thing here. Yeah, with J, and then we have to bind it again to that one with J. So it shouldn't give us any issues because that area, this entire area over here, is flat. Okay, so that whole area is flat. Once we finish it, it shouldn't give us any problems. Alright, now let's get on over here, and let me take 1, 2, press J, take 1, 2, and press J. I'm going to take 1 and 2, press J, and finally this and that, and press J. Alright, so that's a good start. Now let me get onto the side view again, and let's take a look. So I'm going to go over to face select mode, and I'm going to select all of the faces in here. So that's all the faces we need, and I'm going to insert just a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm just going to insert a little bit, like that. I think it should be good, like so. So you can see already we don't have any issues going on, which is good. But let's go ahead and then proceed with everything else. So let's get over here, and what we want to do next is to cut out the inner area over here. Okay, so let me just go over to solid view. It's not too visible, as you can see. So I'm not sure. Let's take that whole face and let's just insert. Okay, so I'm going to insert a little bit more all the way to here. We're not going to be following the blueprint line at this point. We're just going to be doing our own thing, just to kind of follow the thing much nicely. And I'm going to use the knife tool over here, and let's just knife this all the way to there, and then to here, and then all the way down here, then to there, and then to there. So you can see I'm not following the blueprint line in any way. I'm just trying to achieve my own thing. So let's just take these two, press J, take these two and press J. Let's just make sure that wouldn't cause any issues. And as you can see, it wouldn't. Alright, that's good. Though for this area right here, okay, I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but let's undo that for now. And let me take this entire face from here to there, and I'm going to make this one the active element. Let me just go over to normal. Okay, so let me just get onto this side. We're going to press S and then X, and then scale this down a bit more, just so we can scale it down a bit more. S and then X, scale it down some more, and let's just move it in a Y, like so. And I'm pretty sure that should be good. Shouldn't cause any problems or anything. Alright, that's pretty good. So I just wanted to give it that space, a bit more space, as you can see. Alright, that's pretty good, not bad. Alright, so let's see this area right here. Let me just take all of these to here and then to there. I meant the edges except for that one, and let's just press G twice and then C. Let's just move this in all the way to some point there, just so the space in between them are close to even. And let me just take this vertex here. Let's go to vertex select mode. Take that vertex, slide it out there like that. Take this and slide it down there like so. Alright, very nice. Let's get onto the side view again. Let's see what we have. Okay, so we can take all of those faces now. Yeah, let's take all of the faces first, then we'll fix the rest of the area. So we're going to take all of those faces, and I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but let's insert again. So I'm going to insert one more time like so, and let's fix this area a bit more. So I'm going to slide this out here, slide this down, and slide it to the middle like that. Let me just get here, slide this up. Let me also slide this up, and let's take the whole thing now. Alright, so we're going to go over to normal. It's already in normal, so we should just move this in the z-axis all the way to the inside like so. Alright, that's not bad. And let me take a look. Okay, let me get onto the side view and let's see what we got. Not bad. What we can do here is, I'm not sure, but maybe we could just slide all of these. Let me just slide this down as well. Slide this all the way down, slide that all the way there. And let's just slide it back in here. Take the next one, slide it back down in there. Do the same thing here. Slide this up, take the next one and slide it up. Let's see what we have. Okay, not bad. Let me take the whole thing again, and let's go over to face select mode, and let's move this in some more like that. And I'm going to extrude again, and I'm going to extrude it all the way inside to that point like that. Alright, not bad. Now let me just zoom into this area, and I want to press I to insert just a little bit. Or we could undo that insertion, and what we could do instead is we're going to press I don't know, Control T, yeah, I think, and then Alt and J to clear any potential triangles we can. Alright, so now let me just go over to edge select mode. I'm going to select all of the surrounding edges, and then with them selected, we're just going to press Control E, and then we're going to mark sharp, Control E, mark sharp, just like that. Alright, very nice. So with that done, we can just go over to the objects data tab here. Is that the objects data tab? Yeah. And we're going to enable auto smooth, and let's turn this up to 180 like that, just so that area is sharp but everything else is as it is. Alright, very nice. So let's get on over here now, and I'm going to zoom into this area right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here, and let me add in 3, and I want to take the very middle one, and I want to press Alt and S, and I want to shrink that one in just like that, as you can see. If it's not enough, we can just undo that, and I don't know, maybe we could just press Ctrl and R, add one very close to that area, add another one very close to this area, and I'm going to add 2 in the middle, and then press Alt and S to kind of shrink this in, and I'm sure that will look pretty good. It still doesn't look big enough. I kind of want it to be really big, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that whole thing, and I want to press G twice, press E, and then F. I'm not sure. Okay, let's add in a new one. That is not going to work. Okay, G twice, and let's just slide this down a little bit. I don't think that should cause any problems. Alright, now let's add in those supporting edge loops again. So one up there and one down here. I'm going to add in 2 again, press Alt and S, and then shrink this in like so, and I think that should be good. Alright, not bad. Now let's get on over here. First off, let's fix this area, but I think we have to put a circle in there for the keyhole. So for now, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's fill it. So I'm going to take 1, 2, and then press J. Take these 2 as well, press J, and I'm going to take 1 and 2, press J, and this and that, and press J. Alright, very nice. There we go. So now I want to take all of these over here, and I'm not sure how we're going to do this area, but let me just press Ctrl B to bevel this, add 1 in the middle. After we bevel it, let's bring up this menu over here, and let's increase the shape all the way to 1. Very nice. So you can see that is coming out great. And now let's jump onto the area down here. We're pretty much going to do the same thing. So Control B to bevel it. And I'm going to make sure the shape is 1, as you can see. And there we go. So yeah, very nice looking handle. And as you can see, it came out super great. Alright. So I don't know, I kind of feel like I want to do something in this area. So what I'm going to do is, okay, that doesn't look good. Yeah, let me press Control and R through here. And I'm going to take 1 and 2. And I'm going to hide it. Press Control and R through here. Press Alt and H to bring everything back. And I'm going to take 1, the middle one, and this one right here. And I'm going to press J. And I'm going to take this middle one and that one and press J. Alright, so let's see. Let me just slide this up a little bit, like so. And I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but okay. Let me take this, press G twice, press E, align with the inner one and pull it close like that. And I think that should be good. And I'm going to add another one above that. Press E, pull it close like that. And I'm going to put, I'm not sure. Let me slide this up a bit. So E, pull it to some point there like that. I think should be good. And let me press Ctrl and R through here. Move this all the way up here. Add another one in here. All the way down here. And just move this down a bit. And then add one in here. And let's just press Alt and S and shrink that in. Alright, so one more thing we have to do is to add in the keyhole. So let me just get onto the side view. And yeah, let's add in the keyhole. So how are we going to do this? Let me just take all of these, press Shift and S and choose cursor to select it. Alright, so now we're going to add in a circle of 6 sides. So let's press Shift and A and add in a circle. And let's type in the number of vertices. We're going to add in 6, or we could go with 8. I think 8 should be enough. And we're going to rotate in the x-axis by 90 degrees. And let's just scale this down. Okay. So we're going to scale it down to some point there like that. Alright, let me change this back to global because I think it's messing with the shape. So we're going to try to fix this with Alt, Shift, and S. And then we're just going to move the mouse. I'm not sure why that is happening, but let me just get in here. Okay, I think I see why now. So let's go over to the mirror modifier. And let's disable clipping. I'm just going to press S and then X and type in 0. Now I'm going to move this in the x-axis. And let's re-enable clipping. Not that anything is clipping, but I just like to, enable that. Alright, so let me scale this up. And let's try this again. So just press Alt, Shift, and S just to make sure it's rounded. And we're going to apply loop tools and then space to make sure the spaces are even. And then we're going to use the Alt, Shift, S again to make sure it is rounded. Just like that. Alright, very nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get over to the front view. And let's get over to where it is. And I'm going to share this in the x-axis like so to match the angle of the surface. So we can also make sure we can also turn on face select. We can snap to face over here. Make sure you have project onto self and project individual elements enabled. I'm going to press G, hold Control and press enter just so it is snapped onto that surface very, very nicely, as you can see. Alright, now I'm going to press Ctrl Alt Shift S again and then make sure it's rounded. I'm going to apply loop tools and then space. Do that again, loop tools and then space, and that should be pretty good. Alright, so now I'm going to scale this up just a little bit. And I'm going to press F and then set this in a little bit like that. Now let's delete that face and let's go over to face select mode. Take this face and that face and press X and delete the faces. Now I'm going to take all of the edges, this one and that one. And then we're going to press Alt and F. And then Alt and J. Alright, very nice. So we can just select object and select shade smooth just to get rid of those artifacts on the surface, and that should be pretty good. Now let's get onto the side view, and I'm going to press F on this. I'm going to press E to extrude this in the Z-axis, that is the local Z-axis, as you can see. So E and then local Z-axis. I'm just going to extrude it to some point there like that. Alright, so now I'm going to press Ctrl E and mark that as sharp. And I'm going to take this one as well, Control E and mark as sharp. Alright, so I don't think I want to mark that sharp. What I want to do is I'm going to press Control B to bevel this like so. Alright, very nice. Not bad at all. So you can see that came out great. Now all that we have left is to create the keyhole, and I'm going to leave that up to you guys. I'm going to do it off camera because I think this is taking too much time, and I'm going to end it on this side. So we're going to move on now to the brake disc, which is also going to take some amount of time. So I'm just going to zoom into this area to show us the brake disc, and let's just take this, press Shift and S and choose Keyhole to select it, and I'm going to add in a mesh, nope, not UV sphere, a mesh circle. And we're going to change the size to, I don't know, let's go something like 32, which was the original thing. Let's go into edit mode, press R and then Y and type in 90. And we're just going to scale this down. Let me just go into wireframe so I can see this. So we're going to scale it down to some point there like that. Okay. So we're going to press F and then insert this to some point there. You can pretty much see that it doesn't go all the way through. So we're just going to end at some point there like that. I'm going to press X and delete the faces. Now let's take the whole thing. Let me just press G and then Y or X and move this in to about some point there. And I'm going to extrude it in the X-axis again. Extrude it in to about some point there. I'm not sure how far thick we want this to be. So let me just take the whole thing, press G and then X, move it in some more. Okay, I think we have to go in some more, so I'm just going to move it in some more like that, and that should be pretty good. Alright, not bad. So now let's get onto the side view and let's see what we can do with the rest of that area we have in the middle. So I'm going to take this circle over here. Let me get onto the side view, and I'm going to go over to median point. I'm going to set the orientation or the pivot point to median point. I'm going to Shift and D this and then scale this down just a little bit like that. I'm going to press F to fill this in, insert it all the way to about some point here like that. Let me just move it in the X-axis, or maybe keep it there. Let me just take the whole thing and move it in the X-axis a little bit like that. I'm going to take this one, insert it a bit like so, press G and then X, move it out a little bit like that. I think that should be pretty good. And I'm going to insert it again just a little bit like so, extrude it again in the X-axis and pull it out all the way to some point there like that. Hold on, G and then X. Okay, I'm going to move it inside a little bit. Alright, there we go. Very nice. Let me take the whole thing and press Shift and N to recalculate the normals. I want to take this one now and extrude it in the X-axis all the way to some point there, and I'm going to press F. Take the whole thing and press Shift and N to recalculate the normals. Alright, very nice. So now all that we have left is the clips we have in the middle here. We're going to create those clips right now. So let me just get onto the side view, go over into edit mode, and I'm going to take this, Shift and D this, and move it in the Y-axis all the way to some point, I don't know, say some point there. And let's just press G and then Z and move this up in the Z-axis to some point there. Now I'm going to extrude it down in the Z-axis to there. Take the whole thing, extrude it in the Y-axis all the way to there, I think. Alright, so now I'm going to press Ctrl and R through the middle. First of all, let's take the whole thing and move it in the X-axis a bit. Get onto the side view, and I'm going to press Ctrl and R through here. Press Ctrl B to bevel this, and I'm going to bevel it to, I'm not sure, say some point. Alright, let me take the whole thing and move it inside a bit more. Alright, like that. Take this one as well, move it inside a bit more, like that. And I'm going to take these two now. Let me dissolve those vertices. Let me add in a new one, press Ctrl B. Now I'm going to bevel this to some point like there. And I'm going to go over to edge select mode, right? And let's add in, I don't know, let's just add in 2. Deselect this and dissolve that edge. Add in 2 in here as well. Deselect this, dissolve that edge. And I'm going to take this face and move it in the X-axis. Alright, so we're going to pull it in the X-axis like that. Let me get onto the side view again. I'm going to scale this down in the Y to about some point there. Move it in the X a little bit like that. And that should be pretty good. Alright, now let me get onto the side view and let's see. So I'm going to take the whole thing, extrude it in the X. I'm going to press S and then X and type in 0, just so it is flat on the bottom. I think that should be pretty good. Alright, I'm going to press X and delete the faces on the bottom, just so we have it only on the top. Okay, so that is coming out great. And then finally we can take this face, press Shift and S and choose Keyhole to selected. And then what we can do is to go out of edit mode. I'm going to press Shift and A and add in a mesh bolt. Okay, so let's get up here and look at the bolt we have. So I want to change the is it model, I think, yeah. So we're going to change it to, first off, let's keep this one, alright, and let's just delete everything we have on the top. Let me just get to the front view, go over into wireframe. Now let's go to vertex select mode. I'm going to take this whole thing and then press X and delete it. So we're going to take what we have left and then scale it down. Let me just zoom in, get onto the side view, scale it down some more, zoom into that area, rotate in the y-axis and type in 90 or negative 90. Now I want to move this in the x-axis just a little bit like that, and I'm going to scale it down some more. So scale it down like that, and let's just press G and then X, move this in there like so. Alright, let's just recalculate the normals just to be sure. Alright, so that's pretty good. I'm going to take that, press Shift and S and choose Keyhole to selected. And now let's get onto the side view again. We're going to add in another mesh bolt, and this time it is going to be a knot, not a bolt. So it's going to be a knot, and I'm not sure. Let's try the types and then see which one we have. I like this one better. I feel like I should go with this one. Let's see the last one too. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going with this one. Alright, so with that one added in, we're just going to scale it down. So let's just scale it down to the appropriate size. Let me just zoom in, scale it down. Let's rotate in the y-axis by 90. Get onto the side view, and let's scale it down some more. Alright, let me just zoom in, press G and then X, move this in there like so. And I'm just going to scale this up, maybe a bit more. Okay, not bad. Let me just zoom into this area, see what we have. Let me hide this real quick. Take this and let me see. Alright, let me take all of that, press X and delete the vertices. Okay, that's not good. Let me take all of that instead and delete the vertices. I think that's better. Alright, let me get to the back as well, see what we have. Okay, so I'm going to take, I'm not sure, but let me take all of this and hide it. And I'm going to take everything else in the middle and delete it. Now I'm going to press Alt and H to bring everything back. And there we go. So I'm going to take this whole face here. Let me bring the other piece back, that is the other thread. And I'm just going to take this now. I'm going to press F and then insert. And I'm going to press X and delete the faces in the middle. Now let's take the whole thing and let's press S and then Shift and X. So we scale it only on the Z and then Y axis. And then scale it out a little bit like so. Okay, not bad. Let's try that again. So S and then Shift X. I want to scale that out a bit more. Now let me take this, scale it in some more. Let me take the whole thing, press Shift and N to recalculate the normals. That's pretty good. Take this one as well, Shift and N. And there we go. Alright, so I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, and let me just press Ctrl J to join them. Let me go into edit mode, press Shift and N to recalculate the normals. And there we go. Alright, so we're going to do something real quick. Let's take these pieces and let's press P to separate the selection. And I'm going to take this one right here. Let me just go into edit mode. I'm going to take all of the edges. Let's go over to edge select mode. Take all of the edges. This one as well. And then that one. And the one over here. And yeah, I think this one as well. Alright. Now I'm going to press Ctrl E. hold on, including this one. We're going to press Ctrl E and we're going to mark it as sharp. And we're going to go down here, enable auto smooth, pull this all the way to 180. And let's get out of edit mode, select object and select shade smooth. And there we go. So I'm going to take the face out here and I'm going to delete the faces. We don't need the faces in there. Alright, very nice. So now we can take this, press G and then Z and move it down to some point here. Let me just get onto the side view. Alright, not bad. Okay, so now let me just take this, press Shift and S and choose cursor to selected. And now we can take this one, go into edit mode, get onto the side view. And you can press spacebar and then type in spin. Okay, and we're going to hit enter to spin this. So just make sure your cursor is in the middle of the rim before you actually do this, or it's not going to work. And now let's bring up this menu over here and type in 10. Alright, and we're going to enable use duplicates instead of span geometry. We're going to press X and delete the vertices. Okay, because for some reason the spin tool adds an extra piece on top of the existing one. Alright, so there we go. So you can see our rim is looking, our brake pads or brake disc is looking really good. So only one more thing we have to do. Let's get onto the side view. And I'm going to go into edit mode, and that is to cut out these holes we're seeing in here. Okay, so I'm going to take this one right here, press Shift and S and choose cursor to selected. Now I don't know how we're going to do this because it's pretty random, so it doesn't really follow any pattern, but I think I'm going to end up having it follow a pattern because I can actually go around it and do this, be doing this in a random kind of way. I don't think so. So we're just gonna have to follow some kind of pattern that is going to be visible on the brake disc. So I'm going to press Shift and A and add in a mesh circle. Alright, so I'm going to drop this down to something like 8, which is pretty good. I'm going to go into edit mode, rotating the y-axis by 90, and let's scale this down. Let's go over to vertex select mode. I'm going to scale this down some more. So to some point there like that. Let me just press G and move that there. Let me hide the rim real quick. Let me take that. Alright, so I'm going to scale it up some more. And let me just Shift and D this. So move it somewhere there. Alright, so you can see what I'm doing. I think we can pretty much do it random. So I'm going to time lapse through this one. Placing the holes in random areas. Alright, so there we go. So we're going to take that whole pieces now, and first off we're going to press F to fill in the faces, because if you don't do this, the boolean modifier is not going to work. So make sure you fill in the faces first. I'm going to extrude this in the z-axis, the local z-axis, and we're going to pull it all the way to the back here like that. Now let me take the whole thing and press Shift and N to recalculate the normals, and there we go. So now we can take this and then we can add in a boolean modifier. Okay, so boolean, and then we're going to select this object right here, and we can take this. Let's hide that real quick and see what we have. Alright, so there we go. So we can just take that piece now and then apply the boolean modifier. Now we can take these and delete them. Very nice. Now let's take that entire thing over there, this one right here. Now we're going to Shift and D this and move it in the x-axis all the way to some point there, like that. Maybe I should move it inside a bit more. So to some point there like that. And yeah, I think we want to enable auto smooth. Let me just drop this down a bit more to, I don't know, let's try 60. Let me take a look at that. Alright, so there we go. So let me go over into edit mode and take this one right here, press G and X and move it in the x-axis all the way to some point there, like that. Maybe a bit more, like that. Alright, so one final thing I want us to do, let's go into edit mode, and I'm going to take 1 and then 2, Shift and D this, move it in the y-axis all the way to here, G and then Y, let me pull it in some more, G and then Z, pull it down, extrude it in the y-axis all the way to there, take that, and then take this, nope, that and press F. I'm going to extrude it down in the Z-axis all the way to some point close to the center. I'm going to press X and delete the faces on that side, and I'm going to delete the faces on either side as well. So this face and the face on this side as well, delete it, and there we go. Alright, I want to take 1 and 2, press Ctrl B to bevel this like so. Let's drop the profile down to 0.5, and there we go. Now we can select object, and select shade smooth. Alright, now let's take this piece here. Let's get onto the side view again, and let me just get out of that, press Shift and S and choose Keyhole to select it. Go back into edit mode and let's apply the spin tool to this. Alright, so we're going to use duplicates, and let's increase the amount. I'm not sure, to something like 20 should be good, I think. Now I think we have to add more, so let's add in some more, say 30, or we could go 40. Yeah, 40 should be pretty good. Alright, so there we go. So let's take the whole thing, press Shift and N to recalculate the normals, and you can see that came out really nice. Let me just take this and press F. I want to press Ctrl E and mark sharp, and there we go. So there's our brake caliper. As you can see, it's looking really good. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure that'll bring us to the end of the whole modeling course. Like I said, I'll be providing you guys with everything else in the next part, which will be prepping up everything else. Which will be prepping up the model for texturing. So yeah, this is where I'm going to end this. And okay, before we actually go, I forgot one thing, which was the tire. So let's try and then finish that right now before we call this done. So let me just take the rim, press Ctrl I, and then hide everything else. And let me just get onto the side view. I'm going to press Shift and S, say Keyhole to select it. I'm going to add in a mesh circle. Alright, so first off, let's rotate the mesh circle in the 90 degrees of the y-axis. So let's go 90 degrees in the y-axis like that, and let's scale it down. Let's drop down the radius down to something like, I don't know, something like that. Alright, so let's go over into edit mode. Okay, and I'm gonna delete that vertices. Don't get out of edit mode, do not get out of edit mode. Let's press Shift and A and add in another circle. Again, let's type in 90 here. Alright, so there we go. So just make sure you have vertices in this axis, which is the y-axis, and then one also in the z-axis, as it is very important to have those vertices in those areas because of the way we're going to be modeling the tire. So just make sure you have them in those areas, just like I do right now. So I think that was 32 vertices that I used. Okay, so let me just scale this down to, or into the rim. Let me get onto the front view, and let me just press G and then X, and then move this in some more. I'm just going to scale it out a bit like that. Alright, now let me get onto the side view. I'm going to press E and then S, and then scale this out to about some point there. And let me get onto the front view and move this in the X-axis a little bit out like that. And let me get onto the side view. We're going to extrude it again in the Z-axis to fall on the blueprint line like so. And now we're going to extrude it again in the X-axis to some point there like that. Now let me just press Shift and S and choose Keyhole to select it. We're going to set the origin to the 3D Keyhole. Alright, and now we're going to add in a mirror modifier. Okay, so mirror. And we're going to let me just apply the rotation and scale, and let's mirror it in the X. Alright, there we go. So let me just take this. Let me take a look at where we have this. Okay, not bad, I guess. Let me just pull this some more in the X-axis. Press Shift and S, say Keyhole to select it. I want to get out of edit mode and then apply to the 3D Keyhole. That was too much, so let's pull it in some more. Shift and S, Keyhole to selected, set origin to 3D Keyhole, and I think that's pretty good. Alright, so now let's get on over here. I'm going to take this. First off, let me add in 2 in this area. I'm going to press G and then X and move it out, or bulge it out just a little bit like that, as you can see. So G and then X some more. Very nice. And I want to take this and I'm going to press Ctrl B to bevel this. And just add in one more in the middle there, like so. Just going to bevel it some more to about some point there, like that. Alright, very nice. Now I want to take this and then dissolve that edge. Take that. I think I might actually keep that one there. Let me just move it in the x-axis, like so. And there we go. So I'm just going to select object and select shade smooth. And now we have our tire. So I feel like this is pretty much too low poly, but you can actually add in, I mean, it's too low poly. You can go ahead and add in more vertices. So what we went with was 32. So you can go with something higher, but like I said, just make sure, let me just show you real quick. You just have to make sure right here, 90. Yeah. So you just have to make sure that the both axes, that is the y-axis and the z-axis, have vertices on them. Okay, so let's go with something like 64. Okay, so 64 seems pretty good. You can go with something like 64, and that should pretty much have it should have vertices on both axes, as you can see. So the z and then y, like that. So I want to go ahead and do it off camera because I feel like the 32 was too low poly. So I'm going to use the 64 to create the tire again off camera. And this one I'm going to end this part, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video.